Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, the Texas Longhorns beat Baylor 38-6. Great win for number 3 Texas today, beating Baylor on the road 38-6. And the Longhorns' Big 12 opener. First 3 games for the Longhorns were non-conference games. Week 1 against the Rice Owls, Week 2 against the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then Week 3 against Wyoming. Now Week 4, they play their first Big 12 matchup, and their Big 12 opener is a win against Baylor 38-6. Now next week, they will most likely have a ranked matchup. It is looking like Kansas will join the top 25 as maybe the 20, they'll probably be the 24 team in the country. So the Texas Longhorns will have to play a ranked team next week, number 24 Kansas versus number 3 Texas at home. So that will be another big, not only will that be a Big 12 matchup, but that will be a top 25 matchup, a ranked matchup. So it is looking like Kansas you're gonna see Kansas get into the top 25 in the new top 25 AP. All right. Let's go over this game. Longhorns win it 38-6. Their defense was incredible in this game. Jonathan Brooks, scoring summary, Jonathan Brooks, 40-yard touchdown run. He was outstanding. Another 100-yard rushing game for him, 2 touchdowns. But he scores the first score of the game at 7-0. Then the last score of the first quarter was Isaiah Hankins' 22-yard field goal at 7-3. Second quarter, you have 4 scores, and 3 of them are Longhorns touchdowns. The other is another field goal by Isaiah Hankins. 29-yard touchdown run for Quinn Ewers. What a day for Quinn Ewers. And then it's 14-3 with extra point going in. How about C.J. Baxter? He had a good game in this one, a 7-yard touchdown run for him. And you know, Coach Sarkisian did say that C.J. Baxter was going to play more in this Week 4 matchup, and he did, and he had a touchdown for a 7-yard touchdown. It's 21-3 with that touchdown run. Then another touchdown for Jonathan Brooks, a 2-yard touchdown run, and it's 28-3. Then going into halftime, Isaiah Hankins makes a 36-yard field goal, and it's 28-6. Then there were 2 scores in the third quarter, no scores in the fourth quarter. A Bert Auburn 37-yard field goal, it's 31-6. And then a Quinn Ewers 21-yard touchdown pass to Xavier Worthy. And that is it for Quinn Ewers and the Longhorns scoring today. Our game leaders, Quinn Ewers threw 18 for 23 with 293 passing yards, 1 passing touchdown. Still no interceptions thrown. Ewers has thrown 0 interceptions in the first 4 games and has thrown a total, I believe, 9 touchdown passes, and if not 10, 9 touchdown passes and 0 interceptions in the first 4 games for Quinn Ewers. He's been outstanding for these Longhorns. And then their quarterback, Robertson, threw 20 for 35 with 203 passing yards and 1 interception thrown. Then rushing yards, Jonathan Brooks had 18 carries for 106 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns, while their leader in rushing was Martinez with 3 carries for 22 rushing yards. How about this? It was great to have the tight end back, Jatavion Sanders, with 5 receptions for 110 receiving yards. If you're wondering why the Longhorns didn't beat up on Wyoming and more last week and why their offense struggled, I think it was this guy. I think it was missing Jatavion Sanders was a big reason why the Longhorns struggled on offense in that game. Quinn Ewers loves throwing the ball to Jatavion Sanders. He was his number 1 target today, and he had 5 receptions for 110 receiving yards. Then Baylor's leader in receiving yards was Baldwin with 3 receptions for 81 receiving yards. Other stats for Texas, Malik Murphy did play a little bit, but when he was out there, they mainly ran the ball. And then how about number 1 wide receiver, Xavier Worthy, completing a pass for 35 yards. Then other rushing, C.J. Baxter had 6 carries for 21 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Jaden Blue had 3 carries for 17 rushing yards. Quinn Ewers ran for 16 rushing yards, although he did have a 29-yard rushing touchdown. It just goes down whenever he gets sacked, though. Quiet day for Xavier Worthy. He did have a touchdown, but 3 receptions for 31 receiving yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Adonai Mitchell with 3 receptions for 46 receiving yards. Jonathan Cook, the second, with 1 reception for 51 receiving yards. Anything else? Jordan Whittington, he still has not got going early on. 2 receptions, 19 receiving yards. Jonathan Brooks had 1 reception for 18 receiving yards. And C.J. Baxter, not only did he get 21 yards on the run game, but he had 2 receptions for 16 receiving yards. Texas fumbles. Jordan Whittington, not only is he not getting a lot of receptions, but he even fumbled in this game as well. He has gotten off to a terrible start to start the year. And then Xavier Worthy did fumble on a punt on a punt, and Baylor recovered, and that was at the end of the second quarter. Then Keelan Robinson, it says he fumbled, but he didn't lose his fumble and didn't recover it as well. And then the Baylor's fumbles, Garrison Grimes, a defensive player, recovered 2 fumbles in this game. He recovered both fumbles from Texas, the fumble by Jordan Whittington and the fumble by Xavier Worthy. So that's pretty impressive. Leader in tackles for Texas today was Jalen Ford with 8 tackles. Longhorns had 5 sacks, 1 sack for Justice Finke, 1 sack for Vernon Broughton, 1 sack for Jet Bush, and then 2 sacks for Byron Murphy II. Love this kid. He had 3 tackles for loss as well and was 3rd in tackles for the Longhorns today. Anthony Hill Jr. had 6 tackles as well. Longhorns had a total of 8 tackles for loss. And Jalen Ford, not only was he leader in tackles for the Longhorns today and had a tackle for loss, but he also had an interception in the red zone, an interception for a 5-yard return. So, I mean, yeah, great game by the Longhorns as they win and beat Baylor 38-6 in their first Big 12 game of the 2023 season. But they will have a harder task next week as they play a team that is way better than Baylor in Kansas, who has started off 4-0 just like them. And not only have they started off 4-0 just like them, but honestly, Texas is a way better team than them. But this game is a home game for Texas next week, so that should be good for Texas. But it'll be interesting to see how Texas does against Kansas. I think that should be a game Texas should win, but I think it definitely has potential to be a close game. Should be a ranked matchup. Kansas should and is projected to jump into the top 25 at either 25 or 24 or even possibly 23 in the new top 25 that will be released tomorrow. That's for the video. Hope you guys enjoy them. Your thoughts on the game, and peace out.